Hey folks, it's Lance from JrJeep Adventures. Good to see you all. I have just gotten back from the Black Hills Jeep event, which was run last week. Awesome event. You'll see more on that in upcoming videos. I just want to shoot another video as a follow-up to my one earlier this month regarding the Starlink Mini. In this one, I'm going to talk about using the power bank, the Bluetti Elite 100 power bank that I have, in conjunction with the Starlink Mini, and also a PT55 Seapower Frig, which I enjoyed very much on this trip. The fridge I subsidized with Seapower's rechargeable battery pack, which you see attached to the side here. That worked excellent for during drives during the day, and then I would take it in and charge it and get ready for the next day. That way, primarily the Bluetti 100 Elite 100 was basically doing the lifting of my Starlink Mini, which, as a reminder, is mounted on this Molly rack by American Adventure Labs. They also make the bracket that's holding the Starlink Mini in there. It is under the roof. It does lose some signal with that. I did find it to still supplement my Wi-Fi needs very well when out there, because I was staying in a cabin, and after the first night, a number of other people came and were staying at the cabins, so thusly the Wi-Fi that he provides, which is also Starlink, he was using a standard, probably was getting a little inundated by the usage. So I just decided after the first night I was going to hitch up my Starlink Mini. Why not? I had it, and I have the roam plan, so I have plenty of data to use, and I was going to use the Elite 100. So let's talk about the Elite 100. Share some screenshots of speed tests I ran when I was out there using the Starlink Mini. I took a couple shots of that just so you could see, and I thought it was pretty impressive considering it's under the roof. And I was in the mountains out there, but shooting off the satellites, and I had a very clear view. It was saying no obstructions, so that was very cool. Some of the specs of this thing goes to 80% in less than 45 minutes, and full charge in 70, which I found to actually be pretty close to what it was. I was shocked when I went out for a bite to eat for dinner and came back and the thing was charged. It does have a pure sine inverter that is 18 watts total, but also has 2500 watts lifting power or 3600 surge. It does support DC barrel plug, does have DC PV input for solar powered panels. You do have the various options of DC or power AC. And it is attached basically for AC. What I really like about this unit is just how well it performed. I was in the Black Hills, Custer State Park, and in a lot of that area in the park, you don't have cell signal. So it was nice to me as a backup need to be able to have this unit. Even though I downloaded maps earlier, things pop up, and so you decide, hey, I'm going to go here, I want to do this. How do I get there? So this made it a little bit more opportune to do so, and just searching. This gave me, when I was running it all day with the Starlink Mini, which was about 8 hours on the trails the one day, I only took it down to like 65%, which I thought was impressive with the usage. This doesn't take up a lot of room in the Jeep, so I found that ideal. And it powered the Starlink Mini excellent, as well as the PT55 Frig freezer that you see there, the dual zone. Seapower, as I've told you before, are fridges I've used. Two, I've used the FC20 as my usual fridge in the back of it, because this was going to be a longer trip and I knew I was going to have more stuff. I decided to put the PT55 in there for a while. And I'll probably leave it in there because I have another trip coming up next month up to the Upper Peninsula. It's a little bit of a switch due to a Jeep Jamboree issue that came up, but we'll still have fun. So this is my little follow-up to both the Starlink Mini and what I use to power at the Blue Yeti. So I'm back inside because I wanted to do a couple things with you. Number one, I'm going to go on the computer and go over the plans for Starlink Mini. I know that's what a lot of people have questions about, so let's go in depth in that. And you can see what those plans are, which have recently changed. And also, I will put in the links in the description for the Blue Yeti and the Starlink Mini, and also a link to Starlink Mini's webpage that you can go and peruse this yourself. There are plans where you can rent the dish in conjunction to your service if you don't want to buy outright. But I will tell you quite frankly, if you are going to use this at all for any amount of time, they've come down substantially in price. They used to be like $349 for a Starlink Mini. I believe now you can get them for less than $200, which is a very good cost. I will also put in the description American Venture Labs Molly that I have in there and their Starlink Mini mount. There are some really cool options out there though for other options to mount to your vehicle. I will see if I can find some of those that I've heard mentioned before and put those in the description. If not, you can always look those up online. So let's get into the plans, see what that looks like. And here's what everybody always wants to know. The pricing, of course. I can understand that. I'd want to know that as well. So let's go over it. And I'm in my interface so I can show you exactly what they offer in the Roam options, which is what I'm using. Now recently, they just changed the pricing structure on the Roam, but they did add some features. So, to start with, my service plan, as it's already showing, is a Roam 100 gigabyte for the Starlink Mini. That's up to 300 megabytes for approximately 1 week of typical use. Reliable connectivity for occasional trips, camping, and getaways. Get unlimited low-speed data after using your Roam data. What that means is basically if you used up your 300 megabytes, you could still get things like email and that no problem. Would still download that in the background. But if you did want to, say, stream movies and that some more on a trip, you would have to upgrade your service, which you can do in the moment. It sort of relays what this plan is best for. So it's talking about the facet occasional trips, camping, and getaways. So if you go away maybe for 3, possibly 4 trips a month that are like 1 or 2 days, and you're maybe streaming a movie, you want some connectivity in relation to work that you got to upload stuff, or you're just looking up stuff, this is a perfect plan for you. This is what I use. This plan was originally $50 a month, a little over a month ago, but it was only half the data, so it was only 50 gigabytes of data. So quite an increase for $5. So that is a plan I'm curling with, and I found it very usable on my recent trip. I was gone for a little over a week and a half, but I used the Starlink Mini primarily for like 4 days while I was out there, and I used up roughly about 43 gigs of data in looking up at my account. The next one is a Roam 300. That is 300 megabytes of data. You can see it's also talking about reliable connectivity for regular travelers with multiple trips a month. Get unlimited low speed again data when using your Roam data. So this would be somebody that maybe is going to be working in the field a little bit when they're on their trip, or they're going to be streaming more, or they're just going for longer trips a month. So if your trips last maybe 3 or 4 days and are 3 times a month, this might be a great plan for you, or even a longer extended week during the month. Next, we see the Roam Unlimited. That is basically 300 megabytes. It's the best performing internet to go with unlimited high-speed data. That's $175 a month. But if you're a person that's working in the field primarily, also enjoying when you're out there,
this might be the plan you need. Or if you're a person that has a family along and they're all streaming their individual videos and stuff, again, this might be a plan you have to use to complement that. Now note, you can go up to that Roam Unlimited plan if you're on a trip that you know is going to be longer and you feel you're going to use a lot of data. Do it for 1 month and you can back out for basically go back to your $55 a month plan after that. So you're not stuck with that plan. Here's the other question that many people ask. Can you pause service? In the past, you could pause service for no cost. Under the previous plan, which was a 50 gigabyte plan with the one I have, it was $5 a month to put it in standby mode, which means no startup. You can connect in the wild. You know, when you're out there, it's not a hassle. Now it is $10 a month for that, but that's a cost to know. But if you're not using it for a couple months and you don't want to discontinue your service, this is a way that you can quickly connect to what you need, and when maybe an impromptu trip comes up, you have the capability very easily to connect to the internet again. So those are the plans that I would normally talk about with this. There is a global roam plan. Now this would be for somebody that is going to be a citizen and priority customer. Maybe they're traveling overseas. It is metered. Ocean access can be purchased on these plans. So there is a number of options with that, but I don't think that's one I would ever use, but know it's there if you want to. So that is the plans that are available for the Roam package. Now note, they do have a residential package, but you would not use the residential package for what we do with is off-roading and various places. That won't accomplish that. The residential plan is based on the location you're at, where you live. So note that. So
if you're interested in either of these products, do check out my Amazon store. I try to put links to the items I use on a regular basis. I am not subsidized by these companies at all. So a little bit of residuals I get if you buy it through my store is helpful for the channel, and I really appreciate it. Again, stay tuned for upcoming videos. I will have videos on the Jeep camp. Unfortunately, I can't get out and shoot a lot of the times to share with you maybe different angles of it. I'm hoping to have some video inputted from some friends that were on it as well, so you can see some different angles. And then I'm going to show some supplements to that with the parks and the views I took in of various historic areas out there, which were just awesome. I can see how people just get enamored being around mountains and that. And it was really thrilling, historic to me, and awe-inspiring. So if you like this video, please give a thumbs up. Consider to follow the channel. We always love having you as a subscriber. And you can see the upcoming videos that I have coming out. And until next time, I'll see you on the trail. Bye-bye.